The impressive Russian Gothic red brick building on Ploshchad Revolyutsy has had several functions since its creation and has been known by many names. It was built between 1890 and 1892 and was originally used as the Moscow City Duma. In 1936 the Lenin Museum was relocated here, which existed in the building up until 1993. Since then the building was used as a store for the State History Museum. It was only in 2012 that the building was once again open to the public as the Patriotic War of 1812 Museum. The museum details the run-up, the course and the Russian victory in the war against Napoleon. The Patriotic War of 1812 was celebrated in 2012. The 1812 thunder left a deep imprint on the memories of contemporaries and descendants, affecting all spheres of life of our country. Alexander Herzen once highlighted it as the year of 1812 that genuinely reveals the real Russian history. Everything before that was just a preface. The collection that commemorates the event comprises a wide variety of materials which spotlight the history of the Patriotic War of 1812 in all its diversity. The Museum of Patriotic War of 1812 Russian opened its doors in 2012 in Revolution Square, the heart of Moscow. It tells the story of one of the most complicated stages in the history of Russia, its victory over Napoleon and its role in the release of Europe from its occupiers. The display is housed in an early 19th century building constructed in the Russian style. The 1,800 square meter venue comprises 13 modern spacious halls, which house more than 2,000 unique exhibits, collections of weapons, military uniforms and awards, military household items, authentic documents and personal possessions of the participants of those battles, including both emperors. Alexander reigned as Emperor of Russia from 1801 to 1825 and Napoleon. Possessions. A visit to the museum will undoubtedly be fascinating for lovers of military history. The exhibition space is successfully supplemented with interactive touchscreen kiosks. The Emperor Alexander I arrived to Moscow to arrange an official meeting on the 11th of July and discuss the problem of the Napoleon's army approaching to the city. Coordination of the further evacuation activities, including the evacuation of all the city administrators and officials, was to be accomplished under the supervision of the governor of Moscow, Count F. Rostopkin, who was responsible for the defense of the city against Napoleon. The arrival of the emperor encouraged the people greatly. Many of the Muscovites announced their intention to join the Moscow People's Volunteer Corps. The actual state councillor, retired Colonel I.P. Polivanov, was refused to leave the museum and join this voluntary association as the supervisor of the Kremlin Armory and Artisans' Chambers. P. Voluyev had such a high opinion of his abilities that he preferred him staying in the city for the needs of the museum. Together with I. Polivanov, P. Voluyev aimed their efforts at the common cause, a successful evacuation of the Kremlin treasury in 1812, and managed to take the museum collection out of the city and keep it safe. Every member of the museum staff was involved in the preparation and packaging of the collection for transportation. On the 22nd of August, in the evening, the string of carts comprising 150 units left the Kremlin under the guard of the representatives of the 19th Invalid Company of the Colonel Shuryaev. By land they have been traveling to the city of Kolomna, where precious goods were to be transferred to large barges. Then the museum's relics and employers were shipped to Nizhny Novgorod to find secure place for storage and housing accommodation already prepared and furnished. In December 1812 the armory collection was transferred to the city of Vladimir, and later, after a church service had been held, the train proceeded to Moscow. The collection was returned to the Kremlin on the 16th of June and placed on the ground floor of the new armory building. The sorting out of items has begun. According to the results of the examination and official reports of I. Polivanov, all the packages and cases bearing stamps remained unspoiled. Still, some of the items turned out to have been damaged during the transportation.